For Bree to have such an amulet can mean a multitude of things, but mainly it would mean that Bree has power through her ancestry, a power that even the gods themselves felt they had to banish. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Cosy Reads. I hope you've all been keeping well. Thank you to everyone for joining in on today's story. In today's story, we'll be continuing the reading of Regalion, witnessing Bree meet Celeste and Butrid for the first time, and seeing how they interact. Now, Bree's reaction to the others might be a bit fervent, but how would you react if you witnessed both an angel and a demon for the first time? So without further ado, make sure you're comfortable, grab yourself a nice warm drink and some snacks, and get yourself nice and cozy as we explore the story. They headed back to Max's place, with Bree making it abundantly clear that if he did anything unusual, she would not hesitate to beat him over the head with her bag and make a bolt for the nearest police station. Oh, and that she was carrying a rape alarm and pepper spray, and she had friends on speed dial that could get to his house in no less than 5 minutes. So yeah, he was rightfully spooked. He had to explain to her multiple times that 1, she was the one who approached him, and 2, he didn't even have an interest in talking about the Reapers until she flashed the amulet, let alone trying anything funny. As soon as they got to Max's place, Celeste went into overdrive. She materialized within a second and started to examine the amulet that Bree had. At first, Bree jumped back in shock. What the hell is that? She screamed. Damn it, hopefully his neighbors didn't hear one of the first girls he ever brought back to his house scream after 2 minutes of walking through the door. Calm the hell down, he said, trying to keep his voice down. So at least if the neighbors did hear her scream earlier, then they might think she was in the house by herself, even thinking she broke into the house. But then Max realized that might involve them calling the police, which is heat that he would rather not have right now. Calm down, there's a friggin' ghost that just appeared from your chest. How the hell am I supposed to calm down? Her voice got progressively louder until he found himself lunging at her, putting his hand over her mouth and telling her to be quiet. Well, if his neighbors thought she was in the house by herself before, they knew now that he was there with her. Bree mumbled. Ouch, what the hell? Max jumped back and held his hand, trying to stop it from bleeding from the bite mark she'd just given him. Next time, don't go putting your hands where they don't belong, and maybe I won't do that again, Bree said while slowly eyeing Celeste up and down. Celeste eventually calmed down as well once she realized Max was hurt, and she quickly grabbed his hand to try and heal it. It's not that bad, he tried telling her, but she was not paying attention. This won't take long. The mark isn't that deep, Celeste said while the healing light of her angelic powers washed over his hand, and then the mark was gone. I'm not going to apologize, but I can see that the ghost thing isn't too bad, Bree said while cautiously eyeing Celeste. I'm no ghost thing, I'm an angel, Celeste told Bree. Bree flashed a look of slight bewilderment and denial. Max tried to explain that she's an angel from heaven, complete with her own set of wings, halo, etc, etc. Max checked over his hand to make sure that it was completely healed. I'm still unsure, but fine, whatever. If she can help us, then I honestly don't mind what she is, Bree said while taking a seat on one of the living room chairs. Well, for an angel, she certainly has her uses. And who's this fine gothic piece of eye candy you brought here? The first girl you've ever brought back, and no one even bothered to tell me about her, Butrid explained while stirring in his lantern. I'm not a gothic chick, and why the hell am I talking to a lantern? Bree did not seem too surprised to see a talking lantern, especially after meeting Celeste, but she was still wary of Butrid. Ha ha ha, I like this one. So babe, if you're ever looking to scratch that hellish itch, just give my lantern 3 rubs and I'll show you just how nice hell on earth can be. Butrid started stirring even more in his lantern as if he figured out a way to physically manifest himself and put his money where his mouth was. Ha, and what exactly are you gonna do? You know you're stuck in that lantern, right? Max laughed, much to Butrid's ire. I might be stuck in here, but even I'm getting more action than you, Butrid retorted. Ouch, that's a good one, but the holes in your lantern don't count as action. Max and Butrid both then burst out laughing, with Celeste looking on in utter disappointment. You know, they always do this. They make fun of each other and then laugh about it as if nothing happened. In heaven, celestial beings never act like this, so I always assume they mean what they say, until they start laughing. One thing I realize is that men can be such funny creatures, Celeste remarked to Bree. Oh, trust me, it's not just men who act like this. Girls can be just as weird and a lot more hidden about it. Believe me, Bree answered back. Oh, are you someone who partakes in both men and women? Max has a female associate who conforms to a similar thing. In heaven I was formed to the belief that such acts are villainous to say the least. But after meeting individuals such as you and Miss Scarlet, Bree stopped Celeste short of finishing what she was about to say. Wait, who is Scarlet and why am I being clumped together with her? And better yet, are you implying that I'm bisexual? Whether I am or not is none of your concern, and if I am, well, you don't have to go shouting it to the heavens. Never mind, those are wrong choice of words. Max looked over to Bree and told her that Scarlet is an old friend of his. However, he refrained to elaborate when Bree tried to pry. Max could tell that Bree had an inkling that there was something more to him and Scarlet than just old friends, but she gave up on trying to get any more information out of him. Anyway, the amulet, let's try to figure out exactly what it is. Max then took the amulet from Bree and tried surveying it. Celeste came over and had another peruse of the amulet. They both studied it as best they could, and Max even gave it to Butrid to have a look over. Eventually, they concluded that the amulet was called the Amulet of the Banished. Celeste recognized where she had seen the amulet. It was an amulet given by a god to banish those with a certain power. For Bree to have such an amulet can mean a multitude of things, but mainly it would mean that Bree has such power through her ancestry, a power that even the gods themselves felt they had to banish. Wow, well, I wouldn't know what type of power you're referring to. I've never been able to do anything extraordinary to that extent, nor can my parents for that matter. However, with you being a Reaper, you must have tremendous power, so this must be common to you. Max could see where Bree's thought process was. However, only a few individuals have such power, and Max was not one of those individuals. His power is different. He's not banished, but he does have power that can rival theirs. I get where you're coming from, however my power is different, is not linked to the banished, well at least not from my understanding anyway. And sadly I'm not sure what this power is or why the gods banished it. All I know is that we learnt a bit about them while conducting Reaper training. The banished are not to be messed with. They have immense power that if unchecked can be deadly. Bree looked at Max as if he were insane. Wait, so what you're telling me is that I have this banished power or whatever? Well, this doesn't make sense. Like I said before, I've never known to have anything like that, nor have my parents ever shown signs of having tremendous power. Bree was now checking her hands as if trying to see if there was anything new that she never noticed before. Not exactly, Bree. What I mean is that whoever was able to wield and utilize this amulet may have had the aforementioned power. It does not mean that whoever has the amulet now would automatically have the power. Anyone can hold or have the amulet, but to utilize it is a whole other thing. Max passed the amulet over to Celeste, who immediately prodded Max's mind to ask a question in secret, merely asking how we can trust her, and that she is not simply hiding her power. Max replied, saying that he cannot sense any murderous or powerful intent from her, so either she is good at hiding her power, or she simply doesn't have any, or at the very least, cannot access it. Max also conferred with Butrid. Butrid stirred in his lantern, which even caused Bree to look over and tried to ascertain what all the commotion was about. I can't sense anything either. However, we still need to be on our guard, as there are monsters both dead and living who occupy this world. Monsters with the skill to mask their power and take unassuming forms. Max started thinking over who could have utilized the amulet before Bree came into possession of it. And that brings chapter 4 of this story to an end. I hope you have all been enjoying listening to the Regalion series and seeing the characters and lore start to take shape. Bree's amulet is proving to be even more mysterious than initially thought. An amulet with secretive power that even the gods themselves had to banish for fear of what power might bring. Who could have utilized such an amulet before Bree? Who was able to gain power from this amulet? What type of power did it have? And was this person still alive and able to use such power? All these questions and more will be answered in future episodes, so make sure to stick around. But until then, I hope you have all sufficiently warmed up and that this story has brought you some level of comfort. I wish you safe travels on the journey of life, and feel free to come back again whenever you need a new story to warm your day.